Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I have a bunch of updates to share about investigations into Donald Trump, all of his allies. So, first off, Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis was in court just today. She's arguing to keep the special grand jury report sealed. Now, that's actually a good thing, although we'd all like to see it. But it signals that she is planning to issue indictments, because to do so, to issue these indictments, she's going to have to impanel a traditional grand jury first. So Willis told the judge that the grand jury report, if it's made public, could help potential defendants to argue that they can't get a fair trial because of the release of the information, all the evidence against them. Of course, Trump's attorneys are falsely now telling his supporters, oh, see, it's all over. And so Trump must have been exonerated because otherwise he would have been called in to testify in the special grand jury. But former prosecutors point out, no, a potential primary target of the investigation wouldn't necessarily, and it's unlikely that he would be called to testify in a special grand jury. So that's that. We'll find out what's going on with that very soon. Next is the awesome news that Trump and his vile attorney, Alina Habba, were sanctioned nearly $1 million. That was in the frivolous lawsuit that they filed against Hillary Clinton, James Comey, Peter Strzok, a bunch of other people. The judge in that case, which is a Florida U.S. district judge named Donald Middlebrooks, he issued a 46-page ruling that was just scathing, just on fire. In it, he wrote, quote, "This case should have never been brought. Its inadequacy as a legal claim was evident from the start. No reasonable lawyer would have filed it. Intended for a political purpose, none of the counts of the amended complaint stated a cognizable legal claim." Middlebrooks is also the judge who's presiding over Trump's other lawsuit against the New York Attorney General. And after he mentioned that lawsuit in the sanctions ruling, Habba abruptly and immediately dropped Trump's New York lawsuit. So what do you know? Consequences actually work as a deterrent. And then there was more bad news that followed for Trump. In a ruling by Judge Juan Merchan, it ordered the Trump Organization to pay $1.6 million for tax fraud. That, of course, was in relation to the case that landed his CFO, Alan Weisselberg, in Rikers Island for probably 100 days. He got a 5-month sentence, but most likely he'll be out in 100 days. In more bad news for Trump, the D.C. attorney announced last week that he's going to begin an investigation into the, quote, brains behind January 6th. I mean, I don't know how many brains he's going to find, really, with that bunch, but he's definitely going to find some criminals. In regard to the defamation suit filed by E. Jean Carroll, Trump completely contradicted a previous denial in his deposition. Carroll, as you guys probably know, she has 2 lawsuits pending against Trump. She claims that Trump raped her in the 1990s. Trump has denied the allegation, and he said on numerous occasions now, including in this deposition, quote, "She's not my type." During the deposition, though, Trump was shown a photo of Carroll. This was from the time period in which the alleged rape occurred. They were at some party. He was there with Ivana. She's standing, Carroll is standing like catty corner and talking with them. When Trump was asked, do you know who this person is in this photo? He said, oh, I think that's my ex-wife, Marla Maples. So yeah, she's not your type, but she looked to you just like the woman you married. A woman with whom you had a child and cheated on your first wife. Kind of sounds like she's exactly Trump's type, or at least she was. And Carroll's attorney also got Trump to admit under oath that he called mail-in ballots a hoax, but then they got him to admit that he uses mail-in ballots. Trump also kept digging the defamation hole for himself during the deposition for this trial. Trump referred to Carroll as a liar and a sick person. Here's how Trump just screwed himself with those statements. In the first case that she filed against Trump, which is just a defamation suit, Trump has kind of a built-in immunity because, unfortunately, the weak Justice Department under Merrick Garland wrongfully proclaimed that Trump originally made those defaming and insulting comments about Carol as part of his job as president. Right? It's insane, but I've shared with you guys before, we as taxpayers are paying for his defense in that case. That's what they've said. But Carol filed a second lawsuit in New York, which I've also shared with you guys. That one is under the New York Adult Survivors Act. That case involves, number one, the rape. It allows her to sue him for the rape, but also it's a defamation case. So the DOJ can't protect Trump in regard to his recent statements, whether in person, whether verbally, whether on Truth Social. They can't run interference for him in regard to these statements that he's now making, and this one in the deposition. So those statements can and will be used against him in the upcoming rape trial, guaranteed. Trump also said under oath that he's never touched a woman on any part of her body without her consent. Unfortunately for Trump, there is that Access Hollywood tape, remember, in which he says the complete opposite and essentially admits to sexually assaulting women. In other great news, Trump's former attorney and fixer Michael Cohen met with the Manhattan DA's prosecutors last week. He seems very optimistic about a Trump indictment. He couldn't give any more details, but we could surmise. I mean, this could involve tax evasion. It might have to do with the Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal hush money payments, because, he's a Christian and all that. In January 6 news, the judge overseeing Peter Navarro's contempt of Congress charge has refused to dismiss that case. So that'll be going to trial sometime soon. With any luck, he's going to get the Steve Bannon treatment or worse, 4 months in jail. Let's hope for more. And the final bit of news is that Trump loyalist John McEntee testified before the Justice Department grand jury, which is also investigating January 6th and Trump's alleged coup plot. McEntee, you guys might or might not know, he used to carry Trump's bags. He was literally Trump's bag man, carried his stuff around for him. He went from that to someone with immense power in Trump's White House. Other Trump staffers even referred to him as the Gestapo because they said that he was, quote, always on the lookout for traitors within. So he was tattling on other people in the administration if they weren't sufficiently loyal to Trump. And this guy was originally and abruptly fired because he couldn't pass a background check, because he has a very high-digit gambling habit or addiction. But Trump then brought him back after John Kelly had quit as Trump's chief of staff. So I can only imagine he probably made some enemies in that administration. I would imagine maybe some other witnesses ratted him out to the grand jury. With any luck, who knows? So anyway, guys, that is it for right now. I will let you know when I hear more. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please donate. Please become a monthly supporter. It really helps to keep the show going, and I appreciate it immensely. Love you all. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.